Lisa and welcome to my channel, The Southern Seamstress. If this is the first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. I'd really like to thank everyone who watched my last video and also for all the nice, lovely comments that I got concerning it. That video was about the children items that I had been making for my Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes. A couple of things to mention about that video. One thing about that video, I did get a comment from a viewer, I think yesterday, that they weren't able to find the link in the description to the bucket hat pattern. And so I went back and looked and I had forgotten to put that link in there. So it's in there now. So if you were looking for the bucket hat pattern link and you didn't find it, it should be there now. So I had another viewer that mentioned that usually when making children's capes that it's best to put a Velcro closure, that it's just safer in case the neck of the cape gets hung up on something, then the Velcro should release and avoid choking the child, whereas a snap or a button, might not pop open. So I just wanted to let people know if they were making capes for the kids that you might want to consider using a Velcro closure to be safer. I know on the rest of my capes, that's what I'm going to do. So thank you so much to the viewer that brought that to my attention. In today's video, I wanted to share 13 free patterns that are perfect for the winter season. But before I get started, I just wanted to mention what I'm wearing. It is a me-made item. This is the Tarifa Tee by French Navy. I did a full review on it in a previous video that I'll link below. This is my second one. I had made a short sleeve version back in the spring, and I also did a video on it. Now the pattern actually comes with just a short sleeve option, but in my video I share how I came up with my long sleeve version, how I modified the pattern, and also added this little wide cuff. So if you're interested in knowing how to make the Tarifa Tee with the long sleeves, I will link that video in the description below. So there are a lot of free patterns out there on the internet, and it's always nice to get a good pattern that's free. Usually when I watch videos that include free patterns, if I see one I like, I'll just take a screenshot of it so I can remember later what it was in case I want to make it. So I went back to all those screenshots, and I've also went on a lot of different websites that offer free patterns and kind of went through those to see which ones that I personally like and that are also appropriate for winter. The patterns I picked out include tops, bottoms, outerwear, and a couple of accessories. Also this week I went back to the Guthrie and Ghani website to look at their fabric, and I've kind of picked out a few selections that I think would work with some of these patterns. So when I show you the pattern, if I have a fabric in mind, I'll also put that up on the screen and talk about that. Now the first pattern I want to share is a quilted vest pattern by Purl Soho. Now I know some people like to wear vests and some don't. Now I wear vests quite often because I'm very cold natured, and it just kind of keeps my inner core warm. So I wear them indoors and outdoors. Now I like this pattern because it is a simple pattern. It's got a lot of good instructions, very detailed. It comes in sizes extra small to extra large. They don't really give like busts and waist measurements. They just show a diagram that gives an overall width measurement. And that width goes from 40 inches to 54 inches. And I think what I'll do, since this pattern is so simple, it just has two pieces, a back piece and then a front piece that you may cut two of, is I'll probably cut those out in muslin. And all I have to do is sew the side seams and the shoulders, and that will kind of let me know how loose that's going to fit on me. Because I don't want it super baggy, but I don't want it super fitted because I want it to be able to go over a shirt or a sweater. Now, the pattern actually goes through the instructions of making your own quilted fabric. So it has an outer layer, a batting layer, and an inner layer. And then it has you machine stitch stitch it together. But probably what I'll do is get some fabric that's already quilted. And one that I like is on the Guthrie and Ghani website, and it's this quilted olive green fabric. And I think this fabric, I think it's sort of a polyester nylon, I can't remember, but I think it's waterproof or water resistant. But what I really liked about the Guthrie and Ghani selection was that they have this quilted fabric, and they have it in several colors. Some of the colors are in stripes or quilted in straight rows. And then some colors, like this rosewood, is got more of the oval shaped quilted, and it's not stripes. Also, they have not just the quilted fabric, but they have the matching lining fabric. If you're like making a quilted jacket or coat, you can get the matching lining fabric. With this vest, you'd only need the quilted fabric. And they also have the matching bias tape, which I really love because I'm not a huge fan of making bias tape. And this pattern has bias tape all around all the edges. So buying the ready-made will really save time, and it'll be a perfect match. So I'm looking forward to making this vest pattern. I know I probably won't have time to make all these patterns, but this one I definitely do want to make, and it will probably be the first one I make. I've already got the whole pattern printed off and ready to go. Now the next pattern I wanted to share with you is a sort of sweatshirt type pattern. It is called Keen as Mustard, and I found it on the Craft World website. Now this pattern is free, but you have to sign on, I think, as a subscriber, but that's free. So you just have to register, and then you can download it. Now the one thing about this pattern was, and it's the only one like this, you can download the pattern, but the instructions, you have to buy the magazine for this certain one. I guess it's one of their newer ones. But this pattern is very simple. I think it has a front, back, sleeve, and a neckband. It has a waistband, and it has sleeve cuffs. And what I really liked about this one was that it has raglan sleeves. Because a lot of the free sweatshirt type patterns just have like the set-in sleeves. So I really like that this one has the raglan sleeves. Now this pattern comes in sizes 8 to 20, and I think you can make it in a sweatshirt type fabric or even like a heavy t-shirt fabric. What I saw on Guthrie and Ghani that I really liked, and I think Lauren was showing this in her last YouTube video, is this olive green French terry that has these little zoo animals on it. I really like olive green and sage green. And this is, I think they call it olive green with the little outlines in black. So I think that's really cute. And they had it in a couple other colorways too. I think they have a beige, and then I can't remember what the other one was. But I think this is sort of a lightweight terry. So that is the Keen as Mustard sweatshirt. Okay. The next two patterns I have to share are both cardigans, and they're both by the company Unfettered. And the Unfettered patterns don't have little names attached to them. They just have numbers. And this one I think is 1021. But it's a short sleeve cardigan with a V-neck and buttons, and it has little pleats. I like these little pleats on top of the shoulders, on top of the sleeves. Now if I make it this winter, I'm going to modify this and bring the sleeves all the way down to the wrist, because I would just freeze to death in a short sleeve cardigan. Now I already have some fabric actually for this one. When I ordered this fabric, I had this pattern in mind, and it's this, I've shown this in a previous video. It's a lightweight merino wool sweater knit, and it's got a slight stripe to it. But I think that will work out well, and I've actually already got the buttons too when I ordered this. I think I got this from Sewing Studio. That's the lightweight cardigan. They also had a longer duster type cardigan. and it's number, they call it 1016. Now it is really long. Now I think I would only make it the full length if I was going to kind of wear it as a lounging, sort of a robe, you know, sweater around the house. I might make it the full length, but if I'm making it, you know, to wear out in public, I will probably shorten it and make it maybe low hip or right over the hips. One thing I liked about this pattern was the drop sleeves. The shoulders drop down and then the sleeves come down, and they're pretty full and gathered into this wristband, and I thought that was really pretty. It doesn't have any buttons. If I was making it for a robe, I'd probably make a belt, a tie belt. I'd probably do that too if I was making a shorter version of it. Now they show it in a kind of a really chunky sweater like knit. One fabric I saw on the Guthrie and Ghani website was this teal and navy striped sweater knit. I think it looks like it'd be really cozy, and so I think that sweater would work well in that. This sweater knit is by Fiber Mood. I didn't even know they made fabrics. I definitely want to get some of this. I think this fabric would work well for any type of sweater, cardigan, pullover type top. The next pattern I have is one that I've had several of my viewers mention to me that they've made, and I've also seen a couple of videos. I know that Amelia with Amelia Sews just had a video recently where she kind of had a sew along of this cardigan, and it is the Harper cardigan by Sinclair Patterns. It's just a nice basic cardigan. The Harper cardigan comes in 4 different lengths. It has 3 different sleeve options. It also has different height options. You can download a petite pattern for shorter people, a regular, or it also comes in tall, so you've got less adjustments that you have to make for your height. So I thought that was neat. It also has a fairly wide size range for this. Anyway, I think that's a very versatile pattern. I can see why a lot of people have made it and liked it. It says you can make it with any light to medium weight knits, but it needs to be a knit fabric. So that's my first 5 free patterns that I wanted to share. Now, several of the next patterns that I'm going to share are by Sew magazine. It's UK's most popular sewing magazine. Sew has a lot of free patterns, not just clothing and apparel, but for adults, but also children, and just little home decor items, little toys for children. So it's really a cool website, and it has a great number of patterns. It took me a while to go through all the pages, but it was fun doing it. Now on their website, you can download the patterns free, but the instructions are on their website. You can't print them off unless you're like copying and pasting or something, but you'll need to look on their website for the instructions. And their instructions are pretty good. They're just listed out like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they don't have illustrations though, so some of the patterns may not be beginner friendly, but I think the ones that I've got on my list are fairly easy patterns. So the first one I have is the Delia Pullover. Now, what caught my eye about this one, that it was talking about making it in a quilted jersey, which I don't know if I've seen any quilted jersey, but the only quilted jersey I could find, I found some solid quilted jersey on Etsy, I think, but I haven't found it on any of the other websites, but I haven't looked really hard. So I thought since they were recommending quilted jersey that you could probably use pretty much any medium to thicker type stretch knit fabric. So it's probably more of a sweatshirt type top. It looks like a fairly easy pattern. It just has front and back and a sleeve that's a set-in sleeve, and this also has like a little kangaroo pocket on the front. So I think any type of sweatshirt fabric would work great. Or if you can find the quilted jersey, that might be cool too. I should say that all the Sew magazine patterns come in sizes 8 to 24, which is a bust size of 31 to 46 and a half. So fairly wide range, maybe not as inclusive as some other pattern brands. Next pattern I want to show is also by Sew magazine, and it is called the Freya Coat. So it's more of a short coat or a jacket. And in their picture, it looks like maybe it's made up in a fleece type fabric. So the description for this coat says that it's a little slouchy with cozy pockets on the front. It also has a full lining, so that might be a good project if you haven't put in a lining. I think this would be a good project to start out with. So I think you could use any type of fleece or coating fabric, or even maybe some Sherpa fabric would work, because it's not a real fitted jacket. And I think it will work well with bulkier type fabrics. So that's the Freya Coat by Sew. The next one I have to share, it's also a sort of a jacket coat pattern. It's by Sew, and I've seen it mentioned on several YouTube videos. And it is the Diana jacket by Amanda Walker. It has fairly simple construction, no zippers or buttons. It just has a self tie and a wide lapel, just straight sleeves. Looks like they're just set in. I don't think this is a lined jacket. I think it suggests that it would work well for like bulled wool, and I haven't made anything with bulled wool. So I think this might be a good project to try my hand at that. I saw some lovely bulled wool on the Guthrie and Ghani website, and they had this one that's a really pretty, and it may not show up on the monitor very well, but it's a really pretty sea foam kind of bluish green. So I think that would make a really pretty jacket and be really cozy and warm, even if it's not lined. I have one more coat pattern. It's also from Sew magazine, and it is the Lola Coat, and it's a longer styled coat. Now, I don't wear a lot of long coats. We have a few weeks here and there in the winter where it gets fairly cold, but most of the time just a jacket, like a puffer style jacket or a parka, it works well. I have a pretty casual lifestyle, so I don't have a lot of occasions to wear like a nice full length wool coat. But I do like the way this one looks, and I think it would be fairly easy to construct. Now, I was thinking it might also work well as a robe. You could size up maybe a size or two, and then instead of using like a heavy wool, use like maybe a heavy flannel, and then maybe put a tie belt on it. And I think that would be really cozy. And it would also work as a wearable toile. And if you really liked it in the flannel and liked the way it fit, then you can make a more fitted one to wear as outerwear. Anyway, the pattern looks fairly simple. It's only got 6 pattern pieces, and it looks like it's an unlined coat, but it could probably be lined fairly easily. So that was a Lola Coat by Sew magazine. So that does it for the outerwear and the tops and cardigans and jackets. The next 2 patterns I have are pant patterns. Now, I don't make a lot of pants. I haven't made any pants this year. It just seems like pant patterns take a little bit more time and a little bit more adjustment in the fit, and so I usually just prefer to get ready to wear pants, and that way if they don't fit, I just can send them back. But I did like 2 patterns that they had on the Unfettered website, and one of them is a wide leg jean, and it's number 1001. Now, I already have several pairs of wide leg blue denim jeans, so I think if I made it, I would probably do maybe like a stretch corduroy, because I really love to wear corduroy pants in the winter. They just seem to be warmer to me than jean type fabric. I wouldn't mind making them up in some denim if I could find maybe some stretch denim that's in a color other than a blue shade. I think if I was making them in denim, I would probably maybe go for a black or a dark charcoal because I don't have any flared denims that are that color. So I think the denim, stretch denim, or maybe a little stretch corduroy, both would work out well. Now, I don't think this is beginner friendly. I was kind of looking at some of the assembly instructions. They give you 15 line items, but there's no diagrams. And I think with all the details that it has with the waistband and the fly front and the pockets and the yokes, that a beginner would really benefit from some diagrams. I don't consider myself a beginner sewist, but I would definitely feel more comfortable having some diagrams with this pattern. So anyway, cute pattern, no diagrams. The other pant pattern from Unfettered is a much easier pattern, and it's made for stretch knits. It's just kind of the lounge style flared leg pant. It looks very easy to make. They're showing it in sort of a sweatery type fabric. I would be kind of afraid that type of fabric would stretch out a little bit too much over the knees and your bottom area, but it does look comfortable for lounging around. The legs look very flared. If I made it, I would probably narrow the legs a little bit. But this pattern only has 3 pattern pieces. I think you have a front, a back, and a waistband. And it's got elastic in the waist, so there's no zippers, there's no pockets. It's got very simple instructions, but I would consider it beginner friendly. So that was 2 pairs of pant choices from Unfettered. Now, the last 2 free patterns I have to share are not apparel, but they're actually bag patterns. It seems like bag making has become very popular in the last year or 2. But the 2 I picked out, I think, are fairly simple to make, but have some cute details. Now, the Forage bag comes in 2 different sizes. They call this the petite size, and then this the regular size. I think they're both really cute. One thing I like about this pattern is that it doesn't require a lot of different hardware that you have to pick out, like some bag patterns. It has 1 exterior zipper on the side. The handles go through 2 grommets on either side, and the straps just knotted. I think the top is just open by what I can tell from the description. Now the bigger bag, it says, has a little slip pocket, so it's not zippered, so you could put your phone or sunglasses in that pocket. But it wouldn't be hard to add the pocket to the smaller one. It just wouldn't be very big. I like how it's got 2 different fabrics. You got the contrasting band with the body. Anyway, I definitely want to be making this bag, and I think it would make a great gift too. So maybe making some for some gifts for Christmas. The last pattern I have to share is called the Sunshine Crossbody Pouch by Bagstock Designs. It also has the option to add a strap to it to make it a crossbody bag, or you can leave off the strap and just use it as a little zippered pouch. This has 3 different zippers. Actually, it has an exterior pocket with a zipper across the top, and it has an interior pocket with a zipper. But don't let the zippers intimidate you, because I feel that a zipper on a bag is just much easier to put in than in a dress or a skirt or a jacket. And there's so many tutorials and videos online that show you step by step how to put these zippers in. I also like this pattern because I thought it was a good one to experiment with different types of fabrics. They say you can make it, just out of quilter's fabric, but you can also use like vinyls, or like they've showed this like accented with cork. So I thought that's really cute. I haven't actually used any vinyl or cork, so this will give me a good opportunity to try to use some different materials that I'm not used to using. So that does it for my 13 free patterns. So I'd love to hear which ones you like the best, and if you're thinking about making any of them. And if you've already made some of them, I would love to hear what you thought about the patterns and the instructions. This coming week I hope to make a couple of different top patterns. I've got one cut out by Itch to Stitch. I believe it's their newest pattern and I think it's going to turn out really cute. And then I'm thinking about making up one of my cute sweatshirt fabrics that I've shown in some past videos. So I hope everyone has a great week, and if you like the video I would love for you to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. So until I see you in my next video, take care and happy sewing.